What is going on, everyone? It is DC3 Johnson here with another Madden 21 franchise mode video, guys. So in this video we're actually going to go ahead and cover, so we're actually in the playoffs already, so we're going to go ahead and cover the wild card game. Unfortunately, it is going we don't end up getting the bye there. We are going to have to face, unfortunately, the Seahawks end up getting the bye. Unfortunately, it was a tough loss against the Titans. Spoiler alert for those of you who didn't see the previous part. That ended up putting us in the wild card game. We ended up finishing a game behind the Seahawks, so the Seahawks will end up getting the bye here. Which is unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate, but it is an opportunity for us to really come out and get the aggressive start that we need to kind of get things going. Right now the Bears, I know with technically, I know they ended up drafting a quarterback as well, so it actually was pretty realistic. Obviously this was before the actual NFL. We started this franchise mode before the actual NFL draft, so obviously some of the picks don't end up lining up the way they actually did in real life, but gives us more of the reason to be excited for Madden 22. And actually, hopefully by that point we can get it on the PS5 and we'll go ahead and just pretty much start right where we left off here, guys. Definitely I've had a lot of fun recording these for you guys. And so another injury here to our lineman here, and we already lost Josh Jones, our MVP, who ends up getting our fumbles. Josh Jones for the playoffs, and then we also lost Jordan Hicks on the defensive end. So right now injuries are a little hurting us at the moment right now. And so as we start the first drive here, well within Chicago territory here, it's going to put us right now with Kyler Murray end up doing the nice rush here, first rush of the game here. It is going to put us at the 11-yard line. Right now, the defense for Chicago obviously very well known, especially with Mr. Mack running the show there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get the stop there. Mr. Christian Kirk is able to get the first receiving touchdown of the game. This might be a high-scoring one. Look at how many yards we got. This was one of the previous parts that we did. We did 650 yards on that game, and we had a really good red zone percentage. We actually were, I think, 6 of 6 or 7 of 7. Like we did every single time we got to the red zone, we scored. And so there we give it to our boy Max Williams, who I do have to provide an update here for Mr. Williams in the course of next season. Obviously, we want to face the Saints in the next round, so hopefully they can get through the Eagles. And we do end up getting him to re-sign on the final week. So we got him to sign a 1-year deal. It is going to cost us a good amount of chunk change, but we will see him back next year as our starting tight end. So there you see. I know people are gonna leave a comment below. I know it might not be something you agree with. The amount of money, but Max Williams has been a really solid weapon for us. And obviously we still have to realign contracts for DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray. So that's more of the reason why we needed to do short-term flexibility. And obviously when you do short-term contracts, those end up costing a lot more, because it's kind of like Costco or Sam's Club for those of you that don't do Costco. You buy in bulk because you end up saving some bucks here. As right now we just take a quick look at that replay. Mr. Isabella just catching a very phenomenal pass. And so right now with Christian Kirk getting another good pass, ends up getting about 30-something yards here to end the first quarter. It's 14-7 here, guys. It's still anybody's ball game, and that one was a near touchdown pass. I personally thought it was, but I guess because he ended up going outside of the end zone, ends up putting him at the 1. No biggie. We still end up getting the touchdown anyway, so it's 21-7 at the moment. And once again, just look at the nice offense here, able to avoid the tackle. Good job for Mr. Max Williams. Just look at this, 18 yards received after catch, and so definitely a good sign here for next year as well, for our third season. And so Mr. King and Drake able to get the rush here, and so we're going to go ahead and push. It's going to be close. Unfortunately, they end up getting to us, but a little late. So we do end up getting our first rush touchdown with Kyler Murray. And so with that being said, we once again start the next drive. This time around, Chicago scores a field goal. Unfortunately, they weren't able to go for the full 7. And so they do get the sack on us. So it's 2nd and 19, and that becomes an incomplete pass. One last try here on 3rd and 19. We're gonna have to throw it away. Unfortunately, just was a little too close. And so we end up coming back on the next drive. Unfortunately, Chicago wasn't able to make much of anything on their possession. So it ends up coming back to us around the 15 to 30 yard line. Yeah, we once again give it to King and Drake because remember, we want to mix it up, especially because a lot of people know we're a pass first kind of team. We want to make sure we get some rushing yards into this game because we want to keep them on their toes. So you see Kyler Murray 5,000 yards. Unfortunately, last when it comes to passer rating, because obviously we've had a lot of sacks and we had a lot of missed passes or interceptions towards the end of the season. But just look at this beautiful pass here. Just reminds me of that tackle that Eli Manning was able to avoid to do the helmet catch. Just able to avoid the trip there and able to throw it at the last second to get some yardage here. And it doesn't end up amounting to a lot, but it does keep us within field goal range where we end up kicking the field goal. It is just a little short. Unfortunately, we don't end up getting it, but still really good. And there you saw, guys, we were first in the NFL in passing yards. I think we ended up doing 6,000 yards. So everyone knows that we like to do offense, we like to pass. So Chicago's really good with their defense. Look at this, 227 yards. King and Drake with 69 yards. Who has been fantastic for us. Look at that, ended the year at 1509. There you see Kyler Murray not too far behind him, though. He was able to break over 1,000 yards. So Lord knows when it comes down to talk extension, that's going to cost us a good chunk of money there. There you see Chicago right off the get-go, 2 straight sacks to put us in 3rd and 22 territory. We're going to have to throw it away. Chicago ends up scoring, and so it is now 28-23. So we have them right on our tail. No pressure. I mean, well, pressure that we have to at least get some sort of, we have to get some sort of a drive here, which we failed on these previous occasions. And so with the rush here, Kyler Murray ends up giving it on the next possession to Mr. DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to get us into the red zone, into the 20-yard line, who's also been a fantastic addition. Look at this. 1587. There you see Christian Kirk just not too far behind him, over 1,000 as well. And I think Max Williams is also the 3rd receiver that broke 1,000 yards this past season. And so another injury. This time it's going to be for the Chicago Bears. Don't know if it's going to be end of game kind of injury or if he's going to be back in a couple possessions. But no matter, we end up getting the rush touchdown here. So Mr. King and Drake is able to get us a rush touchdown there. And so unfortunately, the Bears are just not able to really do much. Not really able to do much, unfortunately, to get something going for them. So we're in midfield range at Chicago, trying to pull an upset. So, I think the crowd's starting to get a little nervous as we get towards the end of the 3rd here. Kyler Murray just is going to be a little short. I think it's going to be like second in inches. And we end up getting the first down, and so we go on the next drive here, on the next set of downs. Give it to Christian Kirk, who's going to get us into the red zone. We feel the opportunity to really get the possession here. There you see we get the tackle, but unfortunately they end up pushing us into the end zone. So a little bit of a questionable tackle there. Ends up being a solid possession for us. So it is now a 12-point game. There you see we're able to keep our head inbounds. There you see Max Williams once again, 12 yards received after completion. And so now Kyler Murray just able to rush out of bounds, get the first down, new set. And so now once again 2nd and 8, looking for the same objective this time around. He does get a little bit of a push out, I guess you can say, with about 10.5 left in the game. And remember, all we need to do is get probably a field goal. A field goal probably ends up putting this away. Right now we get to the 22, so that should be really good. So now we want to put time. There you see the Chicago coach is starting to get a little nervous. He's just like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Like, we need to stop this right now. We need to stop this right now. And there you see we've already burned about 2 or 3 minutes out of the game. We end up rushing it again, get to the 3, which ends up almost guaranteeing the field goal there. And so from the 3, Mr. Zane Gonzalez is able to score. It is 45-30. Chicago ends up having to botch their touchdown opportunity there this time around. Once again, Zane misses the field goal here to push the game into an insurmountable lead. Chicago's unable to score It is 45-30. Time winding down. We get the first down. We're going to go ahead and try to go for another first down here. Unfortunately, this time around, they're not able to do much. They're really not able to do much to stop us. So we get the third received touchdown of the game for Mr. Kyler Murray. It is 52-30, guys. We're going to go ahead and throw it here. It ends up being an interception. Not that it really matters, to be quite honest with you. We've pretty much done everything we can to put the Chicago team away. There you see, look at how close this was, 351-349. The biggest difference was the rush game for us, 249 yards compared to like 60. So it looks like the running back was just unable to get it going for him. So a good game. Look at that, 2 touchdowns to 2 touchdowns, guys. So stay tuned for the next one. Take care, guys, and stay safe out there.